electricity went out and it's gone out like 8 billion times. It's a long story, but basically it doesn't really work where we're living. It's a long story. But I'm just going to my parents' house to get away from everything because I'm just irritated and my boyfriend's not going to come home for like hours. And I knew that that was going to happen. I'm not mad at him. That was just the plan. I'm going to my parents' house now. I have no makeup on. My skin's really bad. That's okay. We're just going to roll with it. I'll introduce you guys to my parents' little kitty. They actually lost their cat. And he was the cat that was there when I was living there. He was a really awesome cat, but like he went missing and it was really sad. But as my parents were looking, they found a cat that was like, sorry, I don't know if it's the wind is too loud. I tried to roll up one of my windows, but the AC doesn't work in my car. My life sucks. So in their search for their cat, they found this little kitten, and he was a little black kitten, just like the cat that they lost. So they adopted him. He's super adorable. I'll probably take some footage of him and my other pets. My dog Bugs. She's the best dog in the whole world. I love her, and I can't wait for you guys to meet them. So hopefully this will be like an interesting like vlog type of thing. I'm vlogging and driving. Is that dangerous? Is that legal? Who knows? I feel like it's safer than being on your phone because I just have to hold the camera. I don't really have to look at it, even though I am. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, that's what's in store for today. This is Bugs. Oh, you're so stupid. You're so dumb. What are you Come on, let's go outside. Look at him looking at her. She's so rude though. No time for it. Hi! I had to turn the light on. It's very dark. It's nighttime now. I feel awkward like vlogging with my family because I feel like they're gonna be like judgmental about it, I guess. Because that's kind of, there's still like stigma with like YouTube people and like vloggers and stuff. I don't know. The little kitten was my parents' new kitten that I told you about. The bigger black cat, that's my sister's cat. Her name's Tina. She's pretty old. And then Bugs was that little crazy dog running around. As you know, I think I said that. And then the older one, his name is Scout. He's really old. We've had him since, I mean, I was a little kid. And he's like doing fine. A thing that I wanted to talk about that I think is really important. A lot of people, like, they spend a lot of money and they go to these like breeders, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with breeders. I think there's some breeders out there who are really awesome. They take really good care of their dogs and they're just really cool people and they love dogs and that's just their passion or their hobby or whatever. And that being the case, you know, that's cool. But I think that a lot of people spend a lot of money to buy these dogs that are from like dog farms and that are bred, and they don't need to be, because you could just literally find a dog off the street, because all my pets are off the street. The only one that I showed you that was not off the street is Tina, and she was from a shelter. We just went to Petco when they were having their shelter days, and there's so many animals at the shelter days that need a home and would love a home, and just because they don't fit your aesthetic whatever ideals, that shouldn't be important. Like, it's seriously like, it's like this mentality where you're like the Hitler for dogs, where you're like, oh well, I want a purebred, I want pure blood. Like, that's like Hitler mentality. Like, he wanted humans that were like purebred, whatever. You get what I'm saying. It's like, to sit there and say that you only want a certain species or a certain kind of creature is ridiculous, because all the creatures on this planet are perfect and wonderful. And a lot of these purebred dogs, by the way, they don't live long at all. They live like maybe 8 years if you're lucky, and you pay a lot of money for them and then they just die, and a lot of them have health problems. Like mutts, they're like meant to survive. They live long, they have really good genes, they have good immune systems and all that, because I mean, that's just how it is, you know? And I think it's just ridiculous that people pay up the butt for like these dogs that don't live very long, and they're contributing to an industry that's just, I just don't think loves dogs, you know. And I'm not saying, again, there's breeders who love dogs, and I'm not saying that that's all true. I know that there's people who buy from really nice, kind breeders, and they're awesome people. I knew like cat breeders in school, and they were she was such a nice girl and everything, but like, it's just that it goes too far sometimes when the people I know are like, oh, I'm having such a hard time finding a purebred dog, and like, they're so expensive. And I'm like, well, if you want a dog that's gonna love you and will appreciate you and will care about you more than anything in the world and will be so appreciative just to have a home, you know, and just be happy that they weren't put down, you know, if you want that and you want a dog that's gonna live a long time and have a wonderful bond with you, does it matter that they don't look like a husky? Does it matter that they don't look like a greyhound or I don't know what else? But it's like these show dogs, like poodles, especially like huskies and stuff. And there's also a stigma with chihuahuas. I love chihuahuas personally. I understand that a lot of people don't like chihuahuas, but chihuahuas are scrappers. They live for a long time, and they're like all up in the pound. Like, there's so many tiny little yapper dogs, and people like pay all this money for like, I don't know. And the worst part is people buy these chihuahuas and then they just give them up because they're like, oh, I don't really want this dog. And these are the kind of dogs that really need homes, and they would love you and they would care about you so much. And just because they don't fit your idea of what a good-looking dog is, you don't want that animal, it's sad to me. It truly breaks my heart, because animals get put down and they get euthanized at these shelters all the time, every day. And it really makes me sad. But all the animals you saw in my family's house, every animal we've owned since I was a little kid have been dogs we found on the street or we got from a shelter, like a kill shelter. Like, and I get that there's like nice shelters that are no kill, and I like to support those shelters, but a lot of the time they're harder to adopt from because sometimes you have to go through background checks and stuff, and they're a little weird. Every city has its own shelter, and you don't need to be anybody. You can literally just come in, pay the fee to have them vaccinated and fixed or whatever, and you have a wonderful pet that will love you till the end of time. It's just true. And like, I love my pets so much. I've loved every single animal I've ever owned. My family are animal people. We've always had so many pets, more than like 3 or 4 pets at a time. Like 2 dogs, 2 cats is just typical for us, because we love animals. My family loves animals. And I don't know, it's such a blessing to own an animal, especially one that is just so appreciative of having a home in the first place. And I think it's sad that people don't adopt a certain animal because of looks. It's sad. Or they pay a lot of money for a dog that was manufactured, essentially. And again, I'm not saying that these dogs don't deserve homes too. I'm just saying that the more money you pay into buying these pets from these like stores, you're throwing money into an industry that like breeds dogs and treats dogs like objects and treats dogs like merchandise, and they're not. They're creatures. I don't know. I know this is like hippy-dippy nonsense. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. I don't really care. That's just my opinion, and I really just want to urge you, if you see this, to adopt an animal from a shelter, like a kill shelter, or maybe not a no-kill shelter if you want to support a no-kill shelter, whatever. But adopt an animal that needs a home. Just adopt one, please. You will not regret it. That old dog that we've had since I was a kid, mutt. Like, definition of mutt. Like, every time we've taken him to a vet, they don't know what he is because he's such a mutt, right? Oh my god, there's a policeman. I'm so stupid. The light was green, so I started going, but there's a policeman, so. I mean, he's lived for so long, and yeah, he's very elderly. His sight's gone and his hearing's gone for the most part. He still can get around, especially by sense of smell, but he's such a great dog, and he's lived for so long, and he's had such a great life, and no health problems, none, except for now that he's much, much, much older. He's very old, and that's just inevitable. He just lived such a long, happy life when we gave him a home, and I don't regret any of it. I'm so happy that we gave him a home. I wish that people would do that for other dogs, because there's millions and millions and millions of dogs just like him, and I wish I could give them all a home, but I can't. And I think the only way to solve that problem is for everybody to just decide that when you want a pet, to just adopt one that really needs a home. You could save a life. and create a bond that would last forever, and you could have an awesome pet that you love and is great. I just wanted to give a little PSA. Anyway, yeah, those are my pets. The really old dog, Scout, Tina, there's a little kitty. Bugs is my dog. I love Bugs. She's the best dog in the world. I love her. She's so cute. Also a mutt, by the way. I found her off the street too. She's awesome. I love her. She's a great dog. I don't know. Great pets. Don't miss out on the opportunity to have a great pet. But anyway, my family went to go, my sister lives like in Anaheim, so they went to go help her move her mattress from their house to Anaheim. I could have gone, but like there wasn't enough room in like the truck, and I wanted to go home anyway because I'm just tired. The electricity's back. I knew it would come back. I'm just a little annoyed because it basically goes out anytime we use the microwave. I guess it's good though because microwaving food is not good for you and you should always cook at home, but I'm just so lazy. The electricity's back. Everything's fine. My boyfriend's home. I thought he was gonna be home later. His thing got canceled, so he's home now. So I'm on my way home. I just wanted to tell you that. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about those amazing little pets that you saw. They're so cute. I love them. I guess that's all I wanted to say. I had KFC. I was vegetarian for like 5 years. Not anymore. I guess I could go into that in like another video. I'm an animal person. Sorry about it. I was like hardcore, like almost vegan and stuff, but I had health problems and I have a lot of opinions on that too. But I mean, everybody has their own opinion on everything, so I'm not saying mine's the best. I'm just saying that's my opinion. So if you want to hear it, cool. If not, whatever. Oh, I went to go because I applied for a car loan and I don't know what I'm doing with that, so I went with my parents to like give them the proper documentation to go through with the loan because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to adult. I also applied to take my CBEST, so if I do that I can become a substitute teacher, which I mean that would be great because I do have my bachelor's degree. Like I said, I'm not doing anything with it and I'm having trouble finding a job because, to be honest, I feel like people look at the fact that I have a bachelor's degree, they're like, you want to work here at like Starbucks or whatever. Not Starbucks, because I mean I haven't talked to anyone from Starbucks. I applied online, but most places are just not accepting me, or like they look at me funny because they're like, don't you want to work somewhere in your field because I got a degree in theater? And I'm like, I kind of do, but I don't make enough money. And that's like a turnoff because they just want to hear that you're like 100% committed, dedicated to their company and you just want to work your way up there. But like, let's be honest, that's like 90% of people aren't like that, so that apply for these jobs. But they're applying like obviously like high schoolers or like people who don't have degrees over me because I guess I'm kind of overqualified for the jobs I'm applying for. Like it's weird that I'm like, that I like have a bachelor's degree and I'm like, they're like, well, you know, whatever. I think it seems like I'm not like, I'm just overqualified, I guess, and I guess that's just kind of a turnoff for a lot of reasons. It makes sense to me. But with a bachelor's degree and a CBEST, I can become a substitute and that would pay pretty good and I could dictate my schedule a little bit more, so hopefully that works out. I really hope so. I'm trying to be an adult, so car loans, CBEST, jobs, adulting, trying to be an adult. I don't know if I'm holding this like steady enough. I want to be like Trisha Paytas, who's like perfect. We can't all be Trisha Paytas. Not that I guess we all want to be. She's a little crazy, but I think in a lovable way. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that was my day. I'm trying to actually be an adult. It's really annoying when people are like, I have to adult today, and they're just like doing like, I've been adulting for a while, so I'm like, okay, well, like, it's not really adulting, it's just trying to survive. Like, it's kind of annoying, but like, I'm actually doing adult stuff now, like car loans, jobs, etc. And that stuff's just, I don't know, it's freaky because no one ever, you take all these classes, but you never learn how to do this stuff. There's no classes on how to apply for loans. There's no classes on how to pay your bills. There's no classes on how to do your taxes. There's no classes on trying to take your CBEST or how to find a job. And I mean, I know there's like seminars for how to find a job, but most of them are like sponsored by Walgreens, so you work for Walgreens. And like, I'm not trying to, it's just, I'm not trying to do all that. I'm trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm lost and everybody's lost and there's no classes on how to not be lost, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying. We're all trying. But thanks for listening. That's what I did today. And then I had KFC, which was great because I was pretty hungry. My parents like are busy and they don't really eat. Like they eat one big meal and then they just busy and I can't do that. I like to consistently eat like small meals throughout the day, but whatever. Part of growing up, you're different than your parents and that's okay. I'm almost at home, so I'll end it here. What YouTuber do I want to recommend? Okay, here's one that I was talking to my sister and my brother about that I've been into. I don't know what his name is. I think it's like something Purge. I'll link to it, but he does he does this series and it's called Defunct Land. He's trying to get this Patreon and he's trying to do a project where like all these like old amusement park rides that are gone now, he's trying to like get all the old pieces that he can and like put it together. And I think he's trying to do like a VR thing. That's what the whole like project is for. He's trying to get people and like talented people and like to design this like VR game for him, I guess, and it would like simulate a theme park that has all these old rides that have been closed down. And I think it's really, really awesome. Just watch the series, even if you don't donate and even if you're not interested in the project. It's cool because the videos are like super like interesting. There's all these old like roller coasters that like, not roller coasters, they're just old rides in general. And they're like, I don't know, they're just, the history is interesting and he does very extensive research and he's just very interesting, and just take a look at it. Yeah, he's super cool. So I'm gonna suggest him because I like that. I've been into it. It's been fun the past couple of days to watch that stuff. And I was talking to my sister about it. She's like, trust me, I've done my Disneyland research. But I mean, he does more than just old Disneyland rides. He does all kinds of old rides and they're really, really cool. Yeah, it's interesting. Give it a look. Also, I'm gonna link to my brother's channel. He sings and he's the most beautiful singer in the world, by the way. I love him. He's great. So I'll link to him too. I like am kind of in charge of his channel. Give it a like, watch, whatever. If you're into that, like, beautiful voices, the voice of an angel. I'm just kidding. Not really. He has a really beautiful voice. He's really blessed. So look at that. Check out the channel I recommended. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. See you guys later. Thanks. Bye. Sorry, I'm so awkward. Bye.